paperback, and I'm about to embark on doing this month's design team challenge for Craft for the Crack. And what they've come up with for the month of March is a bingo, I don't know what, a sequence. So you had to choose one of the sequences, and I'm choosing here to do the flower, more than one layer, and stitching. You could choose flower sentiment image or flower ribbon die cut, whatever, but I'm choosing this one here, which is flower, more than one layer, and stitching. And what I'm going to do is, I've had these MDF letters for quite a while, so not to be boring you, what I did was, they looked like this, and I gave it a coat of white acrylic paint. And I'm finding the best way to put the paint onto this MDF, if you do it with a paintbrush, firstly it takes forever, it's very streaky. So what I've been using is a makeup sponge. I squeeze a little bit of the acrylic paint out onto my glass mat, and I just sponge it literally onto it like that, and I find it dries very quickly and it gives the best coverage. Now the reason I covered it in white is because I suppose it gives a better finish. We don't want this kind of a finish. And what I've decided to do is take a piece of paper from this Fifth Avenue paper pad. It's a 6x6 paper pad, and what I did was I put the M down on top of it. I took my craft knife and I went round and cut out the piece of paper, and this is the piece of paper. So I'm going to adhere that, I should that way around. I'm going to adhere it like that. But before I do that, I want to do one of my one of the bingo things that I said, and that was to create layers. So I want to do stitching. So I'm thinking a piece of this vintage lace, I'm going to stitch it onto the M. So if I cut it here, and then I want another piece for the other side. So I cut that there. And I'm going to move around to the sewing machine, which is just beside me here. And I'm not very good on the sewing machine, but we'll give it a go. So I'm just moving it to the, and I can cut off whatever is left over. Just moving it midways there, like that. I'm always nervous on the sewing machine because I literally know nothing about it. And off we go. I'm doing a zigzag stitch so that it'll hold the lace in place, I hope. And then I'll just do one reverse. Take that one out. And the stitching will make the lace a bit more secure on the designer paper. I'm going to put this one down the other side. And this is really just to add a bit of texture and interest. Okay. Believe me, I really am winging it here. I'm going to move it over a little. There we go. So that's one of the elements done. So I've done some stitching, and I think what I'll do is I'll just pull the threads through to the back, and I won't even knot them. I'll just take a little bit of tape and tape them down like that and cut off the rest. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on here. But again, before I do it, I just want to do a little bit of distress ink again to add a bit of texture and interest. So I'm just using the makeup sponge, and it's Tattered Rose is the colour that I'm using. So I'm just going to sponge along the edge. Just give it that kind of shabby chic look. And I'm going to use the hot glue gun to adhere it to the MDF, because I'm not really sure how effective any other kind of glue would be. So I have my glue gun here. We'll get that on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a selection of flowers that kind of match the colours that are in the paper, and again I'm going to use the hot glue gun here. So I've got these little pink, I think they're called cottage roses, they're from Wild Orchid Crafts, and the little buds, and I have leaves which I'm going to leave white, and again I'm going to use the hot glue gun here. I have to move around here because it won't reach. So I'm going to do this corner, get the leaf in, and the buds, and then the flowers. And then I'm going to do it down here on this corner too. It's a very quick and simple project, but it's very nice. So I've got the buds, the leaf, and the two flowers. The leaf, the buds, and the two flowers. Okay, I'm going to add another layer, which will be the final layer, because I don't want to make this too fussy. I think it'll be nice the way it is. So I have these very cheap little rhinestones, and what I like to do is to colour them with a permanent Sharpie to whatever colour suits my project. So I'm deciding here to do a turquoise. So I'm just going to quickly colour them all in. I use a lot of these rhinestones, they're great with the permanent markers. Okay, and I'm going to put that layer on top of the lace here. And I think I'll have to add 2 more little rhinestones to finish the row, maybe 3. So there we go. If you wanted to, you could colour in the leaves, but I just like it plain and simple like that, and I think it will make a wonderful Mother's Day gift, or as I said, for a child's bedroom wall. Okay, it's the Irish Scrapper saying, join me again soon for my next tutorial.